My dear Kukuya, thank you so much for allowing me to share some time with your mother. It was in 1984 our paths met in Havana. Though it felt less like chance than recognition, we were two Black women, mothers, comrade sisters, and women of the Black Panther Party. Finding one another in exile, we lived in different barrios, only minutes apart, and her home became a sanctuary, a place held together by Cuban sisters whose warmth and steadfastness helped make exile bearable. During those years, our conversations often carried us to dawn. We spoke about politics, about Malcolm, about the children that we had left to grow towards adulthood without us, and about the cost that revolutionary struggle asks of those we love. Again and again, we return to Malcolm's force, his humanity, and the way his ideas kept moving through the world. In speaking of Malcolm, we found not only political clarity, but consolation. Out of one of those late night exchanges, an idea took shape to carry Malcolm's teachings onto an international forum. It was in that international stage with Fidel's support that a vision became the International Symposium Malcolm X Speaks in the 90s, held at Casa de las Americas in May of 1990. She spoke carefully, as though each word had first to pass through memory. And she would often say to me, quote, "Cuba is a different kind of place. There is no extreme luxury. You have what you need here, but it is not a materialistic, consumer-oriented society. What you gain is peace, the freedom to let your mind wander, and the ability to trust people here." End of quote. That truth stays with me even now. Cuba refused to abandon one of the most hunted revolutionaries in the United States, even under decades of blockade, isolation, and pressures. In their refusal, it showed that a nation's principles are measured not only by what it says, but by whom it will not surrender. Today we honor our beloved ancestor sister. Cuba itself is under siege. Across the island, no oil deliveries for 3 months. Medical care is disrupted. The electric grids are strained, and ordinary people, including children, are made to bear extraordinary hardships. That is why solidarity cannot be abstract. It must be practical, defended, and made visible. Not long after our sister made her transition last September, the Cuban Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez Padilla said, quote, simply, "We fulfilled our duty." Now that duty, as those spoken before me, that duty now passes to us. If we love Assata, then we must love and defend Cuba in her name. No war on Cuba. No war on Cuba. Thank you.
Salute to comrade sister Assata. The name Assata Shakur has been, for years, already become a legendary name. It represents resistance, Black freedom struggle, and indeed revolutionary solidarity, especially with the brave and principled government and people of Cuba. I say legendary because at least dozens of rappers have named her, and we shouldn't forget her best-selling book, Assata, a brilliant autobiography. The book tells of her youth in the South and coming to the North and learning about the Black radical revolutionary movements. As she writes, this book is about a Black woman's awakening, and therefore her story awakens others, especially young people. She joined the Black Panther Party and later the Black Liberation Army and the Black freedom struggle generally. Indeed, her life became a symbol of these struggles. In May 1973, she and two comrades, Rosemari Shakur and Sundiata Kobe, were stopped in a car on I-95 in New Jersey, and a shootout ensued. Two men, Rosemari Shakur and a New Jersey state trooper, were killed. Guess who got charged with both their murders? Assata was. Her attorney, who was incidentally her aunt, Evelyn Williams, won at least 5 acquittals at trial. When she was finally convicted, it took an all-white jury in Middlesex County, New Jersey, which resulted in a sentence of life plus 65 years, despite her innocence. In November 1979, the BLA and other comrades entered the prison where Assata was being held and carried her to freedom. She spent her lifetime in Cuba, which granted her refuge and a home of political asylum. Living in freedom in Cuba for over half a century meant a life of teaching English and supporting the society that boldly supported her. But it also meant exile, living apart from her beloved daughter, Kikuya, who was literally a child of the BLA. Her book, Assata, has traveled to many lands and has been translated to many languages, but her message, made possible by the Cuban state, was of the value of revolutionary solidarity and also the value of resistance to the U.S. empire. Her lasting message: to love each other, to support each other, and to struggle until freedom comes. Assata Shakur, member of the Black Panther Party, soldier of the Black Liberation Army, mother, grandmother, and comrade sister, returned to the loving embrace of the ancestors on September 25th, 2025. With love, not fear. This is Mumia Abu Jamal.